have a video here from a very mad individual that nobody watches. No one gives a shit about this guy. Literally, more people are going to watch it now than have ever watched this video, or close to that. It is. It's not Clock Guy. It's some fucking guy. I'm not even gonna tell you his name. He just literally doesn't exist. Like, I don't even know if he's a person that has feelings. This guy says, fuck the skeptics. The wrong side won. He's very mad. He's very ass mad about the skeptic community, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to talk about this. Sarah said that I will cringe very hard at this. So apparently we have to talk about this. So fuck the skeptics, the wrong side won. I'm excited about this. Let's see.
Do y'all remember a decade or some odd years ago how the biggest thing on YouTube was the big bad atheist ponying the poor stupid Christian?
Steve Shives is the big bad atheist. Hell yeah, man. Nice. Good for him. The first person I think of when I think of atheist ponage videos is definitely Steve Shives. Yeah, there we go. I'm super excited. You guys remember when the world was young and we were worried about Mitt Romney being president? This is that good shit.
The internet, where religions go to die, says the big brain dipshit, scientist, Dr. Phil Mason, known on YouTube as Thunderfoot. And who can forget the amazing atheist? The man so fucking vile and intellectual that you'd scramble to needle your own eardrums out after bleaching.
I'm glad those blocks are there.
But what about
Skeptic? That'd be pretty close to not being able to do that. Oh, look at him. He just wants people to like him. Oh, poor Greg.
To ever be given a single view on YouTube.
Let's see.
The vanity of this Jersey Shore stand-in makes Donald Trump seem like he's not entirely
yeah. I cringed at this too. This was really fucking stupid, Greg. You shouldn't have made this. It was really fucking dumb, and I hated it. It was so fucking stupid. Why did he make this? He really did make this. This is something I could agree with. This shit was fucking cringe, bro.
Sure how he feels about himself in social situations. And the list goes on and on of the skeptics.
It goes on.
Who served no purpose whatsoever but did two main things on YouTube. One, they pwned SJWs. They surely did.
I avoided that. Not me.
These intellectual giants that they are, they went into the trenches, bayonets at their side and mud in their boots, fighting fearlessly against the only class of human beings to exist who are more insipidly uninspiring in their intellectual acumen. They warred with Tumblr, for fuck's sake. Two, they went after Christians who didn't believe in evolution and wanted their children to be taught that their deity created them and the world and had a purpose for them. What a horrible crime.
Oh, it actually is. Okay, so here's something. We can bring out the old atheism, Jake. Old atheism, Jake, coming out here. Woo, yeah. Okay, so the harmful part about the religion shit and teaching kids that stuff is that they use it as their baseline for how they expand ethics into the world when they become adults. And so if you have someone that's like, the Earth is only 6,000 years old, it's going to be, and God created it, blah, blah, blah. They're going to fall into a trap because a lot of science, especially biological science, a lot of that is based on what we know due to findings through the evolutionary theory. Vaccines are a great example of something like this, where things evolve over time. You need to get a new vaccine, you need to pump it in, you know what I mean? The flu vaccine. Also, I mean, if you get your ethics from the Old Testament, you're going to be a homophobe. That's not fucking helpful. I don't care if you find a deity useful to your self-worth or something, but not at the expense of everybody else's dignity or at the expense of pretty common sense ethics when it comes to everything else. I would rather you find self-worth in your own existence and your you know, just kind of like appreciation of oneself, and not only oneself, the appreciation that you won the cosmic lottery, and you are the for a short period of time the universe looking at itself, because I mean you literally are pieces of the universe, and it's observing it. And on top of that, you're made up of billions and trillions of things that individually aren't you at all and have to collectivize to even create you in the first place. Like a skin cell isn't me, but all my cells are me, right? And so it's interesting. And it's just one of those things, man. It's just one of those things. I don't know. You guys didn't earn that.
An injustice perpetrated that must be fought. This was the mission of
There's so much more beyond this, obviously.
To boldly go where nobody else really gave a fuck about going, because what damn harm have the Christians posed anyone in the past 100 years?
What does he mean by harm? Like, it's harmful not to allow people to marry one another. Roe v. Wade is harmful. Fucking, they bomb abortion clinics. Like, what are you talking about? Christians are currently the types of people that promote fascism in our government. What do you mean? They're actively taking a direct opposition stance to climate science. They don't like things like vaccines. They think things like COVID is a hoax. Like, what are you talking about, man? The overwhelming shitty people in our world are religious people. Like, if you're shitty, the odds of you also being religious are super high. Like, last 100, the KKK was deeply Christian. Yes, of course, yes.
The absolute worst the Christians have are the Phillips, who are like if the Amish inbred for so many generations that...
These aren't the Phillips. This is, I've had a beer with this guy. What the fuck is his name? Why can't I remember his name suddenly? Shit. He's from the FFRF.
Their community was whittled down
Phillips
to 6
are dead.
people with the Kinko's members card.
Kinko's?
But to the skeptics, teaching people about the anti-science of creationism was worth starting a, I don't know, war, battle, skirmish, whatever it was.
It was cringe,
persistent
dude.
and relentless, with thousands of new videos flooding the internet every single day of these genius skeptics insulting Christians for only being able to quote the Bible, as the skeptics literally only quoted evolutionary biologists and other natural scientists because they themselves didn't know a fucking thing about evolution that Dawkins didn't say in the debate.
The reason I'm not in this video is because I would make every one of these points look really bad. Obviously. Because, I mean, I exist. I exist, damn it. We do an atheist Bible study. How can you be... They only read every word of our holy book and told us why it was wrong. He couldn't possibly put that in the video because that would be dangerous. That would not work with this hate fest that he's going on right now. Very interesting. I bet he leaves that Matt Dillahunty. No, I saw there was a Matt Dillahunty picture at some point when I was scrubbing through. There he is. There he is. I don't think I'm on here though. I don't think I'm on here at all. Anyway.
While they insulted the young earth creationist Christians for relying on
what Bible study? How dare you?
Like answers in Genesis for explanations, the skeptics got high on self-adulation and answered every single bad argument from creationists by quoting verbatim shit from Talk Origins that they had no hand in researching or creating themselves.
Wait. If you don't have hand in research or creating things, you can't talk about it. Therefore, you can't be a Christian, I guess. I don't even know. Tell that to the R and Raw dude. Get stick bugged. Thanks, buddy.
But it had to be done. You see, if someone is religious and don't believe in evolution, they might commit horrible crimes against humanity, like literally just living a productive life, not making derivative videos about how stupid other people are, and minding their own fucking business and raising well-adjusted children who don't become non-binary otherkin.
Oh. Oh, oh, honey, that's not what well-adjusted means. What well-adjusted would be is if they grew up and were, in fact, non-binary, they would come out as such. That's what well-adjusted is. If you are a thing and then you live openly as that, you're well-adjusted. That's you've adjusted well to the situation at hand. If you have support, you're even more well-adjusted. This is strange. This is not. What if you're a wolf person? I don't care. You're a wolf then. I don't give a shit. You're a wolf, Miranda. There you go. Go be a wolf. You're not a wolf. You're not. Can we talk about otherkin for just a second? You could do that if you want to like LARP and shit, but to pretend that your experience is anything like a trans person's experience, a non-binary person's experience is shitty, and you shouldn't do it. Okay, just toss that out there. You just stop it. Stop it. I'm willing to be like, okay, go do your thing. I don't care. But when you're like, no. You feel like you're a dragon, but you're subjugated. No. You can go do that, but you don't get to add yourself to the fucking trans community, okay? You just don't get to. Drives me nuts. Is trans a choice or is it forced on people? Okay, all right. Because you said I'm not educated, please help. I am going to answer this as if you are asking this in good faith, and I'm going to genuinely answer your question, okay? Okay? Florida guy. Okay. All right. I'm not educated, please help. Is being trans a choice or is it forced on people? It is neither. Okay. So being trans, it was a troll. I'm on your side. It was a troll. Do you want me to I will explain it to you though. Like, I mean, if you do know, that's fantastic. You don't have to, you could be on my, you can support trans people and not know the answer to this question. I do want to answer the question though, if you need it. Explain it anyway? Fuck it. You're right. Okay. Okay. So being trans is, people, you don't, parents aren't forcing their kids to be trans. You're not choosing to be trans. Transness is, especially explained by trans people. I can't imagine many trans people would choose the experience of transness, as it's incredibly uncomfortable, because being trans means that there's an incongruency between your perceived gender. So you would perceive me as a man. Perceived gender, the expectations therein, including but not limited to gender expression. Often normies and people that don't understand this wrap sexuality into it. They wrap all sorts of shit into this. Sex. There's an incongruency between what you are told you are and what you are. And that is incredibly uncomfortable. So, for instance, if me, as you see me right now, was told by everyone else that I am a woman and I am supposed to, wear dresses and have children and be more svelte and cut my facial hair and have longer hair, I would be incredibly uncomfortable with that. That is not how I roll. That's not me. That's just not who the fuck I am, right? On the inside. Right? Not just the outside. Like, you can shave my hair or whatever, but I'm not going to be comfortable with this. I like having a beard. And there's lots of ways this manifests, but there's and don't forget, get penetrated. What are you talking about? Because you're a woman. Being cis is I could tell you it is easy. So basically, the trans experience is the incredible uncomfortability when the person that you are actually butts heads with the person that people assume you are. Like this. And because people may have strong assumptions about who you are, they can often get uncomfortable when you tell them, no, I am actually this. People don't like to be told they're wrong. People also don't like to be told things they don't understand necessarily. And it can be hard for someone to understand why person with penis is girl. Like, and I'm telling you, it's that simple. So that's the answer to that question. And then, I mean, non-binary, I mean, it gets even in to explain non-binary or gender fluidity to a normie person without first understanding binary transness is hard. It's definitely hard to talk about. Definitely. What are you doing over here? What are you doing? What you got going on? You being good? All right. Do you want me to? Well, no, I don't need you to. I'm talking about when you. I mean, in general, I can do it. Non-binary is often confused with non-binary people ourselves. Yeah. Anyway, continuing.
And that's the entire point here.
Wrong kid died.
Well, exactly. The wrong side won. Wrong kid died. We can trace the start of the skeptic community back to intelligent design. A long time ago, in a galaxy that seems far away from the one in which we tiptoe through now, there lived about a few thousand people who believed that their God of the Bible created all life and was responsible for evolution. They wanted to teach intelligent design, or ID, in schools, under the guise that there was some controversy and evolution wasn't proven, which there wasn't, but that's the lie on which they wanted to wiggle their Bible into the classroom.
Wait, I can't tell. Did he just? They wanted to wiggle their Bible into. Is he anti or pro evolution? What? What? I don't know. I feel like he's not really being very clear with his language here.
The dastardly crime that it was. And they even had W supporting it.
Too many OBGYNs aren't able to practice their love with women all across this country.
Long story short,
I remember that.
The people behind ID, no, not the Joe Kenda ID.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And when I leave here, I'm going to have somebody's ass in my briefcase. And maybe it's going to be yours.
But they went to court insisting that if human cells are irreducibly complex, that implies a designer. Lo and behold, they got curb stomped in court by actual scientists who showed that these mechanisms were in fact not irreducibly complex, meaning that you could reduce them by parts and they would still function. Booyakashan.
I don't understand. So it's not irreducibly complex. And he likes that? I don't know what the fuck he's got going on here. He is Schrodinger's dumbass right now. I genuinely don't know how he feels about anything. He definitely said that Christians are fine. He said booyakasha? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck that is. He's got the poo brain? Yeah, I don't know.
Guns Jamaican. Buckshot, buckshot, buckshot.
That's it, right? Nope. It picked up grassroots support from there, which would eventually reach Bush the Dumber, as mentioned previously.
Bush
and some people were still fighting to have ID taught in public schools, in its own class, separate of science, not replacing it, but alongside it as an alternative to evolution.
Okay, so I guess he's for it being taught side by side with evolution. And he's upset that other people would be triggered by it. Okay. What year is this? This came out in July of this year. That's sad.
This is what rang the dinner bell to let skeptics know it was time to feast.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even know what this is. Who is this? Who the fuck is this? Who's this? Who's this? Look at the skeptic community. Vernaculus. Is this Lauren Southern? David, aka formerly Spinosauruskin, teal deer. Does teal deer still do stuff? No one sent me a teal deer video ever. Not one time. TJ, Sargon, Shu, some old person. Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? This is Tim Pool? Karen... Dr. Randomer Cam? Dr. Randomer Cam. Okay, whoever the fuck that is. This person looks like that one comedian, but it's not. This is Lauren Chen, and here's... and there's Skeptic. This is a rough one. Yeah, it looks like Sam Kinison, but a lady. Yeah, it's David Sherratt when he used to be a incel MRA, but he's come around. It was Spinosauruskin back in the day, but he's Sherratt is now pretty reasonable. He gets a little worked up sometimes, but the waterman. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Gallagher.
Around this same time, the four horsemen of atheism were in the midst of poning theologians into
Christopher Hitchens, Sam Harris, Richard Dawkins, and Daniel Dennett. We did it.
debates. And some
or David Dennett? David Dennett? Daniel Dennett. David? Daniel? David Dennett? No. Is it David Dennett? Daniel Dennett. Daniel Dennett. I feel like I've met Daniel Dennett.
Call, baby bird.
Did I meet this guy? I can't remember if I met him. Thanks, Knobbish, for the 15 months. Is this guy trying to spark a comeback of edgy creationist YouTube? Is that what's happening here? I don't know, but I really hope that if that does happen, that we get the OGs. That we get the OGs back. Was that one guy? Who's that one guy? Venom Fang X. I want Venom Fang X back. Kaz, thanks for gifting a sub to Crystal Cat. Appreciate it. That didn't work, Doc, but that's okay. But I need Venom Fan X.
Young Earth creationists were emboldened to come to YouTube.
There he is! Holy shit! Holy shit, there he is! I just said it! I spoke it into existence, chat. Oh. Thanks, Doc.
To disprove evolution and push their ID onto the masses. But skeptics be like,
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Not on my watch, though.
When they can punch down and steal verbatim the talking points of Dawkins and Hitchin and Harris.
What? It's not punching down when you're just dumb. That's not what punching down is. Punching down doesn't mean the person you're talking to is dumber than you. Punching down means you're attacking things about them that, like, you shouldn't be attacking, like their skin color or their fucking, you know, if they have a I don't know, a disease or, you know what I mean? Oh, you're crippled? Blah, I'm gonna fucking make fun of you. Like, that's punching down. There's no reason to do that. It's fucking stupid. Like, someone being dumb isn't punching down. Jesus Christ. He's still around? He's still doing stuff?
44.
Whoa, wowzers. Venom Fang X is still around. And 1 week ago, he made a teaser. He's got 25,000 subscribers. That's it? This is Sevenfold Films. This is 1 week. Wait. What's he actually doing? Wait, this is the user Venom Fang X. He's just changed it to Sevenfold Film. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Poor Dennett. He was like Winston from Ghostbusters. Nobody's favorite, but I still like him.
If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe anything.
Channels started to emerge. A hairy bisexual micro machine screamed and screamed and yelled and screamed that Christians were stupid. And he
Is TJ bisexual or is he pan? I actually don't know. Anybody? Anybody know?
yelled and screamed and yelled.
Why?
So I'm going to go ahead and go. But I'm not going to stop yelling because then that'll mean I lost the fight.
Then Thunderfoot popped up, who was a low-rent YouTuber making regurgitated Bill Maher points about George Bush, but rose to fame when he started his Why People Laugh at Creation series. Others joined the fray.
Ladybug, thanks for following.
Some a lot fucking dumber than others, but
Aw, poor Kraut.
it was still popular content, promoted before the adpocalypse, and dozens of people got YouTube famous, made good money by copying points from Talk Origins and The Horseman, and roundly defeated those evil, mean, bigoted, backwards, no good, very bad, innocent religious people who just didn't want their children indoctrinated with what they believed was a stepping stone to Marxist propaganda.
And it's interesting, he says that and doesn't think that religion is bad. You know how you're in your public schools, people were like, don't be racist, and then you became a Marxist because you weren't racist? You know how all of us are Marxists? Hey, how many Marxists are actually in here? Like, how many of you would actually consider yourself a fucking Marxist? Lucas, the Archaeopteryx, thanks so much for giving one to Gloomy Gus. So, kinda. So, the answer is no, Billy. Thank you. Kinda. No, if it's kind of, you're not. You can't kind of be something. You can agree with points of it, but then you're not a Marxist, bro. It's like saying, I appreciate that sports team, but I'm not a fan. That's okay. I'm not a Yankees fan, but I like baseball. What? Yeah. Come on. I'm kind of vegan. Exactly. See? There's none of you are fucking really actually Marxist. There might be one of you among us. There's some things you take from me, you're like, okay, cool. And some things you disagree with. You're not a Marxist then. And if you totally 100% agree, as an anarchist, I can't exactly be a Marxist, but I do use a lot of Marxian framework to analyze the world, so not a Marxist. Yes, I agree, not a Marxist. You can be close to Marx, but again, agreeing with aspects of Marx, it does not make you a Marxist. There you go. What is a Marxist? A person who would ascribe to all of the things that Marx does. Marx is a loser and racist. Uh-oh. Fuck. Wait. I want to read that, though. Fuck out of here with that BS, lil ho. This must be a copy pasta. Keep talking shit, and I'm gonna pull up alone and kill half of your hood, little B. Start serving fiends and you won't be begging for sugar daddy anymore, lil B. Fuck out of here. Yeah, that's definitely a copy pasta. Shh, there's one Marxist among us. Everyone do your tasks. There you go. Do your tasks. I think Marx said that. Yeah, true. That's actually theory right there. Fuck out of here, lil B. That's actually yeah. Like Hood Spencer. This has got it like this stuff right here. What is this weird? I need to understand. Okay, you're timing them out, but I need to understand their weird copy pasta thing. That's okay. I'll forget in 2 seconds. Are we being rated? No, there's just two dum-dums. Boink.
So,
The wrong kid died.
exactly. Turns out, those dumb redneck white trash hillbilly toothless sister fucking Christians were right all along.
About what?
They wanted to keep God in school, not because they hated evolution, but because it was a deadbolt on the door to keep a hopped up on bath salts Marx from busting in and stealing everyone's lunch money.
Fuck's sake, dude. A couple 12-year-olds play GTA 5 for 20 seconds of game chat. True. That's what it sounds like. This is ridiculous. Christianity is the fucking last bastion of defense against Marxism? Why? Why, though? This doesn't make any sense. You don't have to be a Christian to be a capitalist. You gay! Hey! Why are you here whining about stuff? Why you gotta whine about stuff? Why are you whining? Are you upset that capitalists don't have to be Christians? Are you upset because you are a capitalist? Darwin, are you a capitalist? Bad boy. Bad boy. Why do you like that, you little freak? Why do you like that? Don't give me that face. What's Mom doing? See you later.
Way to go, you band of brain-dead dipshits. You waged war on the idea of God in the public sphere, showing up on news channels and in papers and in debates, fighting religions people head-on and soundly winning every decisive battle and ultimately the war. But as every mention of religion was forced out of schools due to this series of battles, Marx moved right the fuck in.
Marx moved the fuck... So... So you're saying the skeptic community, who are roundly and almost solely far right-wing idiots that are hyper-capitalist, pro-fascism, and anti-Marxist, argued with religious people, and then the vacuum that was created by all these atheists that still agree with the hyper-capitalist, pro-fascist, right-wing grifters that came out of the skeptic community, those people allowed Marxism to occur. Marxism, which isn't happening in this country, or anywhere for that matter, it's not occurring, it isn't a thing. There are aspects of Marx that I think some people appreciate, like the idea that maybe you should have a little bit more ownership of the kind of productivity that you put out as you sell your body for labor. Yeah, I think that's not even a Marx idea, really. That's a fucking that's pretty much an American idea. After we got done dealing with the robber barons, Darwin, go ask Mom. Go ask Mom. Go get Mom. What's she doing? I'm trying to talk to people about Marxism here, and you're trying to be like, Dad, I have to shit. Have Mom take you out to shit. She's not doing anything. Christ. This is just so stupid. This is just really, really, really dumb. I really need to know what else he's going to say.
You dipshits. This is where the skeptics really prove just how fucking inept and useless they are as human beings, showing unequivocally that they're mediocre intellects who pick on generally uneducated Christians to feel superior. Because when the SJW started popping up and taking over campuses, what the fuck did the skeptics do? Did they go out there on a world stage and debate them? Yes. Did they blame the root cause of it all, Marxism, the same way they blamed the Bible?
There are plenty. Okay, most of this SJW stuff, most of it happened when people like Milo Stewart and stuff started talking about two different things. Number one was just basic feminism, right? Basic feminism stuff where it's like, hey, if you are a man, here are things that might be sexist that you don't realize you do. Stuff like that. To varying degrees of volatility, right? Like, you know, like everybody is racist. Milo Stewart, where I mean, like, that's terrible fucking branding. And I know they were a child when they did that, but that is just begging for people to fucking scream at you. And it was, I mean, like, let's be real, Milo. And I like Milo. I think Milo does a pretty decent job. Not a great communicator, but a decent one, and I support them in their efforts to like they just got top surgery not too long ago. Very, very cool. But let's be real. Like, people like that were like, you literally were like kicking the hornet's nest on purpose. You don't name a video "Everybody is Racist" without wanting people to watch it because of the video title. I mean, come on. Not to say that I'm excusing any harassment, but it's just like, don't be surprised when you get harassed by that kind of shit. Especially in 2016, 2017 YouTube. Shit was fucking the Wild West out there. Poorly communicated feminist talking points and like really basic shit that was just really terribly communicated. I think most of you realize if you went through even a slightly chuddy phase, you understand that like a lot of the stuff that people were talking about was really, really, really poorly communicated. Like transness, people were just like, I don't have to fucking educate you. It would behoove you. It would. I understand that dysphoria and being trans is like really fucking tough, but guess what? These people are fucking, they need to be fucking told what the fuck's going on, and they're never gonna fucking understand. Why are we like this? Just take the time to teach somebody, or ask somebody else that has the bandwidth to do so, to teach somebody. I swear, like there was this dissonance where it's like, oh, if I just say something, people will just do. No! People do want an explanation. Even if like most of us, me, people like you, if someone goes, hey, I need this from you, like as far as like how we're gonna interact in the future. I am trans, or I'm non-binary or something. We're gonna be like, okay, but we're still gonna be like, okay, so what does that mean, right? And that's the reasonable ones. Imagine just not being reasonable for a second. Well, no, I'm not gonna do that. Blah blah blah. It's not my spot to tell you. Yeah, it would help. It would help. We needed better voices at the forefront of this entire fucking I don't know, this entire movement of just equity ideas and ethics and gender and feminism and all that stuff. We needed better communicators. We did not have them. And I'm sad that I know it's not your responsibility to educate bigots. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when clearly people are confused, it would make a lot of sense to communicate to the people that are confused. If someone's being a bigot, there's a big difference between being a bigot and being like, okay, so what's this about? Because I saw a lot of people that weren't chuddy turned chuddy by the response of angry left-leaning people. And if you disagree with that, your head was in the fucking sand. Nobody was properly communicating, okay? You can be right and irresponsibly communicate. And I'm talking about advocates, too. Steve Shives is a great example. He's not a trans person, but in his advocation, and this is really where it comes down to, the allies that try to communicate this shit, this is really where it's gross to me, is just being like, well, I'm not going to fucking engage with the conversation. No, engage with the conversation. It's safest for you, Steve, to engage with that conversation. It doesn't harm you to engage with that conversation and teach people the right way to do things. This is why I do it now. Because you need advocacy from not just yourselves, because of course, like a trans person doesn't, again, like I said, doesn't have necessarily the bandwidth from emotional, maybe mental health, maybe just the fucking time to talk to somebody about their body experiences and dysphoria and gender and all the fucking complicated things that go into that. They might not have the time. But if you get it, if you finally get it, it behooves you to fucking talk about it. And I'm sad that I didn't get educated on it earlier, because if one person had taught me what I had to learn on my own slowly by staying away from the volatility, I would have fucking... Am I exaggerating if I say that I probably could have changed a few minds within my skeptic community that would have made the world a little bit of a better place? I'm one of like 20 people that were in that circle. One of like 20. I could have made a difference. Nobody fucking tried to. When I asked Steve about it, he was like, well, I'm not even going to do anything. You've had Armored Skeptic on before. It's like, well, I don't know what they're fucking talking about. I do Bible study. I don't do gender politics. Like, what are you talking about? So it was just a big fucking bullshit. It was a big fucking problem. No one was talking to each other at fucking all. It was very sad. It really fucking bothered me. Like, who's safest? Fucking me. Me. It's safest for me. If I would have only known, it would have been much easier, but no one wanted to fucking talk about it. Just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I think it was because you guys shut yourselves off from Interact. No, we didn't shut ourselves off. We were Switzerland. 2016 and 2017? I was talking to everybody. Literally everybody. I had Sargon on, and I had Steve Shies on 3 times. Like, why can't I remember her name? Oh my god. Oh no. Why am I forgetting her name? Fuck. It's driving me nuts. Stephanie. Thank you. I was thanking myself. Stephanie. She was our first trans guest was Stephanie. She did Skeptically Thinking or something like that. It was a small channel. But she's a friend of the show. And helped Hannah with her transition. Like, I mean, we had all these people on. It was wild. Steph was later. But did Logic ever do anything, Chetty? He had some shit where, he showed skepticism towards kids transitioning or some shit like that. Yeah, the Steve Shives things. He was my number one. See, because he was the furthest left person I knew. He would have been my number one avenue to fucking learn this stuff, right? And then he just assumed that, like, if I have Sargon on, who at the time wasn't really doing that stuff when we had him on as much. I guess he was, but like I wasn't super aware of it because we were just like, who do you want on? Oh, a bunch of fans said Sargon, so we're like, okay, I'll reach out. I looked at a couple of videos. He was talking about Islam or some shit, and I was like, okay, seems right. And then I wasn't gonna go through. Do you see Sargon videos? They're like 50 minutes long, and he does them like every day. So I skimmed a couple of videos. Seemed fine. Hannah did the same. Seemed fine. I looked at Twitter. Seemed fine. It wasn't as bad as Dusty at the time, like volatility wise. Like Cult of Dusty was way worse. Like, I actually considered TJ worse than Sargon at the time. We were like, I don't know if because he's been saying some spicy shit. I don't know if we should talk to him. But then Sargon got obviously way worse than everybody else. But at the time that we had him on, he wasn't as infamous as he is now. I don't know. I just, again, I wish that entire community, and Greg was really bad about that shit too. That entire community, I wish had communication. But again, we were never like a clique, right? Like, we weren't a bunch of friends. People kind of misunderstand that. We were all peers, but not a lot of us were friends with each other. We were friendly, and we were funny when we hung out together, but no, I absolutely. This is why I think, again, communication is so fucking important, dude. If you are a marginalized in any way, if you're part of a marginalized group and you have the bandwidth to talk about your experience, do so, please. It helps everybody. Logic is my favorite Tracy guest. I don't know what that is. Where is Sarah, and what is she doing, and why is this dog fucking whining? He needs to go to the bathroom, and she shut him out or something? Like, Darwin needs to poop. Please let him poop. Please go get him. He's like crying. His asshole is puckering. There's shit pouring out of his body.
He hasn't walked into my office at all.
Of course not. You're in this danger zone. He's not brave when it's closed.
It's not closed.
He has a big problem walking around.
There's a box baby and his
he has a problem walking around the kitchen.
Okay.
How, when you can't get platform to do it? I'm not talking about that. I'm like, what? I don't give a shit about your platform. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about normalization. If you have the bandwidth to talk about your experience, do so. It's irrelevant of platform. All it takes is is being like, hey, this is how I feel about it. It just becomes normal, part of the parlance. This is where we're at now, right? This is where we're at now because people talk about their experience. I can't know what your experience is. It's irrelevant to platform, right? This stuff eventually gets to platforms. That's not what I'm talking about. If you had the bandwidth. Yeah, bandwidth, I mean your personal bandwidth, not your reach, right? I mean, like, I use bandwidth as kind of a catch-all. So if you're emotionally able to, like, discuss it with people, because it can be very upsetting. If you're like, from a mental health standpoint, which is a little bit different than emotional, and if you have the time, if you have, the ability to speak, like maybe you, there could be a translation issue, there could be, what I'm talking about? So stuff like that. That's what I mean. I just wish that the community overall was more accepting and less toxic. I agree. And it was toxic. It was obviously toxic. I wanted to create content back then, but refused to enter such a toxic community. Wish it hadn't been. Might have been easier for Hannah if people in her peer group online were less shitty. People in our peer group, because we have the same peer group, people in our peer group were always cool. Like the trans topic and stuff. No, I mean, it was hard for Hannah more because of her upbringing than it was because of our friends or anything, our peer group or anything. Like, everybody she told has been super supportive. I mean, except for, like, her dad. The educate yourself shitlord mentality was no good. That's what I'm talking about. Like, sometimes it's like fuck off shitlord. That's totally fine. But, like, for everybody to be like, educate yourself doesn't help because I don't know. Some people were in good faith but just didn't know how to ask, right? Like, they'd use the T slur in a question because it was normal, right? It was normalized. Like the F slur for gay people was normalized. But if someone's asking a real question, but they're being offensive while doing it, we can handle both of those things. But I understand, don't get me wrong, I understand in that toxic environment why it could come across as a fuck you and you just want to ignore that shit. I get it. But I think there was because they went so hard at SJWs at first, the reaction was just to fucking put up a shield, which is fine. Would you ever want to stream with TJ? I have before. Exactly, Skiggs. That's what I'm talking about. I just wish the broad communication was better. That's how I really want it. It's like how tankies demand you read theory. Yeah, but tankies are assholes. Trans people are not. Well, some trans people are, but not because they're trans. Nope.
Did they fight to have the Communist Manifesto pulled from institutions and all teachers teaching it fired?
Wait, I thought you liked free speech, bro. Ooh, got him.
Like they did Christians with the Bible? Of course not. They made stupid fucking ponage videos calling them safe space snowflakes and crab bullies. Basically, they picked on the kids who were indoctrinated by Marxism when it was Marxism, though when it was religion, they attacked it straight at the fucking source. They waged a damn years-long war against the entire damn Bible, joined by scientists and lawyers and advocacy groups and intellectuals willing to debate and stand against the horrible idea that students in school might learn that a deity is what created everything. And what did they do when Marxist professors started pushing the idea that all white people are privileged, evil beneficiaries of systemic racism?
Okay, if you have white privilege, it doesn't mean that you're evil. If only you would listen. This is the type of guy that should listen. This is the type of guy that shouldn't be told to educate himself. He's incapable. You should be educating him. In fact, I'll do it right now. So the whole idea here behind white privilege, let's talk about white privilege. I mean, just like literally fucking any privilege. White privilege is a decidedly impersonal thing. Yeah, of course. So privilege in general is just anything that benefits you. Anything that benefits you. Everybody has an aspect of privilege, probably. I'm sure there's one sad soul out there who has literally no privilege whatsoever, but it's unlikely they'll survive for very long. So literally anything that helps you is a privilege. And And it's to varying degrees, right? So something that helps you, okay? Something that helps you. In America, not being a minority. That objectively helps. I mean, it does. It really does. It helps your standing. Usually your name is not going to sound foreign. So people are going to treat you in a different way, more of an accepted way. Specifically, if you're a white man, you're going to be assumed to be, sadly, like more trustworthy, harder working, etc., etc., etc. Like, these are just assumptions they base for no reason. You can't trust me. You can't trust me. If I'm working at your restaurant, I'm stealing nuggies, okay? I'm stealing them. We're going in the freezer and taking those frozen cookies. You've worked at McDonald's. You know what I'm talking about, all right? So you can't, just because my name's Jake doesn't mean that I'm not going to steal your fucking frozen cookies. They're delicious, and I'll do it every time. So it's just shit like another privilege that you could have that's not associated with your white privilege. Another privilege you could have is like, for instance, I have the fantastic privilege of doing this as a job because I have some skills. I'm able to talk. I'm able to be engaging. I have a certain energy about me. I'm pretty personable. I'm easy to talk to. I'm not the most popular streamer in the world, nor will I ever be. However, I have an audience, and you guys like aspects of what's going on here. It's just how it is. I have the privilege of coming from a scenario where I had the money to afford a laptop for the first videos we put out on YouTube. I had the privilege of living in a relatively middle income space at the time, so that I had the privilege of meeting Hannah, who both of us had the privilege of getting a job at the same place. Both of us had the privilege of going to school to get educated on things. And it's not like we didn't work for any of these things, right? Some of these things you work for, I had to apply for the job. But, I mean, I'm not more qualified than any other fucking high school kid, right? So, like, I had the privilege of being given the job that allowed me to meet the person, that allowed me to do the thing that I like to do, and eventually it works out to this. Like, there's lots of things. I have the privilege of at my poorest, I had a parent, my mom, who cared enough about me to allow me to live back in her home. That was incredibly important. I would fucking have died on the streets. I mean, not a lot of people have the same thing. And I never considered that I would die on the streets because I'm so privileged to have a mom that cares about me that way, right? That would open up her doors. And we fucking butted heads a lot. Don't get me wrong, but again, that's a privilege. These are just different things. It's not like it takes away from any of my accomplishments. People aren't like, I'm not subbing to you because you lived with your mom. You know what I mean? Like you have to be fucking scum for me to sub to you. No. Your privileges are your privileges. Just acknowledging them and understanding them is a step towards empathy for people that are underprivileged. And what we consider someone as underprivileged is just someone that they still have privileges, but they have fewer or different ones that apply differently to life, that maybe leads them in a or makes it, not really leads them, I guess more the outcome of their success is less assured, pretty much. So for instance, if you are a poor black person in near where I lived when I grew up, I mean, we have different shit going on. We just have different fucking things going on. Like, maybe you didn't have a mom that had space in her home. That's not bad. Mom didn't have space. Maybe you didn't have a mom. Maybe, like, for someone who's an orphan, for instance, maybe you grew up in the system. You could be a white person and grew up in the system and still have underprivileged because you don't have parents to fall back on. And now you don't have, like, really familial relations to fall back on. You don't have any familial wealth to fall back on. You gotta work yourself, and a lot of those people don't have time to go to school and also work a survivable wage. So it's just shit like that. White privilege, specifically, are just the privileges that are bestowed upon you by society for the color of your skin that happens to be white. It's not saying it's going to get you everything. It's not even guaranteeing you a single thing at all. It's just acknowledging the fact that there are some obstacles you're not going to have to face due to the color of your skin. That's it. It's the whole thing. I mean, wow.
And our horrible slave-owning colonizers? What did they do when consumer communists said that gender and sex exist on a spectrum and convinced fractured young adults to identify as trans and non-binary through social pressures of fitting in with the anti-white, anti-colonial narrative? Okay, explain to me why identifying as anything other than a cis male or a cis female, why that would for some reason be bad. What's bad about, like, what's the negative? Because of course that's in the face of people saying out loud when they say they're trans, they're saying it makes me unhappy to not live a certain way, and you're telling me I can't live that way. That makes me unhappy. So you think it's better to live in a world where a large number of people are in fact unhappy? Why? It doesn't make any sense. What's just from a utilitarian standpoint, not even ethical. I mean, you don't even have to like trans people to understand that it's better that people are happy, right? Like, you could be like a huge transphobe and still be like, but, I mean, they say it makes them happier. That's a better world to live in. It's like just saying words to say them. I don't know. They treated it like a game.
Stupid fucking game.
If a Christian dared to even put up a manger scene or a cross on public land, half 100 atheist groups would spring into action to the rescue to tear it down. Lawyers would speak about the Constitution and freedom of being freedom from religion. News would be cluttered for a month with people demanding this horrible slight against society be rectified. The skeptics would make video after video calling Christianity itself the source of it, dastardly and ignorant and no longer needed in their atheist utopia. Good job up to the house. This is stupid and dumb. This video is the worst. Though what do they say to the crazy Marxist mother who kidnaps her 7-year-old son from his biological father and try to forcibly chemically castrate him because she'd rather have a daughter? Baby bird. Okay, so I think this is the Texas. I'm pretty sure this is that. Isn't this that Texas one? Tentacle Alien Man, thanks so much for the 4 months. Flever, this was the because it seems like you know what you're talking about here. I don't remember it being framed quite this intensely, but this says Rainbow Mafia, so yeah, that makes sense. It was the Texas couple who she was like, hey, my child is trans and she wants to be a girl, and so we're gonna do that. And the dad was a chud. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. So chemically castrate. Puberty blockers are not. That's not what it is. Okay. Exactly, Cascadia. I think he's conflating a South American case with. I don't know anything about that. Puberty blockers are not hormones. That's correct. This is just not what. This is not the thing. This right here. This doesn't happen. This doesn't happen. How dare atheists want separation of church and state? Well, if you separate church from state, your kids are just going to want to cut their ding dongs off. That's what this guy's saying. They ignored entirely and make stupid fucking ponage videos about video game feminists complaining about butts. You can't make this shit up. So yeah.
The wrong kid died.
I don't know why he keeps doing the wrong kid died. He can't put me in this video because I didn't do that shit. Yep. Let's get this straight. Teaching children alongside science and the theory of evolution by natural selection, which comes up very briefly in a public setting, typically in earth science, evidenced by the fact these galaxy brain skeptics didn't know jack shit about evolution and had to go to Talk Origins and Richard Dawkins for their information. What? But teaching... He thinks that... This 3-second music loop is killing. I know, right? He thinks that you can't be an atheist unless you read Richard Dawkins? I've never read Richard. I have a Richard Dawkins book somewhere. I think it's called Is it the Selfish Gene? No, I think I have the God Delusion somewhere that someone gifted to me. I think it was Hannah that actually gifted it to me. Never read it.
Teaching children that some believe a God did it was wrong. What else do modern religious people teach their children? That boys have a penis and girls have a vagina.
But that's not the case. That's not the case, though. See, why is he upset? He's so upset about the trans issue. But why? I don't understand why. Again, just from a utilitarian standpoint, if people are saying they're unhappy and say X will make them happy, you should let them do X. You should let them. You should not only should you let them, you should enthusiastically endorse them doing X. So if I cut this guy's ding dong off in Minecraft, he wouldn't be a man anymore? Yep, that's pretty much it.
Some of them even expect their children to abstain from sex until they get married.
How dare you?
I mean,
why would you want it? Why? No. Hey, don't abstain from sex until marriage. You should, if you're going to get married, you should fuck at least once before you tie the knot. Unless you're ace, in which case it doesn't matter. Don't do it. Bang one time. Bang at least once.
We gotta have tick thoughts running around with babies when they're 16, becoming single mothers on the government dole, right? The idea that a human needs a moral code, not be a sexual deviant.
What's sexually deviant about women? Did you know this woman existing and dancing? Did you know she's being a sexual deviant? This person dancing on TikTok, sexual deviance. Wow. Wowzers. You can't be moderate. You can't have titties.
And that they should avoid Marxist propaganda or heresy trials and stifling theocracy all over again to this.
Okay, this person is just wearing like a summertime top and dancing. Sexual deviance.
They puff their
oh well. There actually is a sexual deviant.
Chest out and collectively rooster strutted into battle like badasses.
That's right, we bad, That's right. You don't want no shit either. That's right, darn right.
Religion was bad. The idea of a father and daughter reaching an agreement that she'll wear a promise ring and preserve her virginity, thus preserving her dignity and life options until she's married.
Oh, he's an incel. That's why the dude he doesn't fuck. He's an incel, and he thinks that a daddy has something to do with his daughter's vagina. Hey, if you ever here's the thing. I'm gonna say this. Okay. If you don't want your children having consensual sex in their life, you're a bad parent. You should want your kids having consensual sex, okay? I mean this in the way of like unless they're ace, of course. Like assume the caveat's ace. I see you, Jerf. You should want your kids to experience the breadth that life has to offer in healthy ways, right? Sexual health and having sex is part of the human experience. It's not a big deal. It can be a little icky when they're your own kids and you got to talk about like penises and vaginas and hoo-ha's and blowjobs and whatever. I mean, please teach your sons to eat the box or suck dick for that matter. Both, I don't care. Like, for the love of Christ. But actually teach your daughters as well, just in case. Teach everybody to eat the box. People need to eat the box more. So, what I really want you to say, what I really want though, is you're a bad parent if you don't want, if you ignore the fact that your kid is going to have sexual feelings in your life. Like, you're just a fucking bad parent, and you should feel bad because they are a person. Did you know that when you were a kid and you wanted to, like, when you were 15 and you're like, oh, I just want to fucking come everywhere. Your 15-year-old's gonna feel the same way. Isn't that weird? Because of the skeptics now, TikTok is full of whores. True. And teach them, consent. That's what I meant. Like, teaching them consensual sex. Yeah. Teach not to bite the clay. Hey, not only don't bite the don't bite the ding dong. Toothy bajays need to end. Okay, if I ever have a kid with a ding dong, unless they want it to be bitten, I don't want them. We need to. You better be teaching your kids how to fucking well, tell them to do research, rather. Don't, sit there with your kid and, go over the finer points of that. Maybe when they're an adult. I don't know. Seems weird. I don't know. If my kid asked, Dad, let's assume I have a cis white son named Jake Jr., okay? And he goes, Dad, how do I eat the box? Say he's 15, 16. I'm telling him. Am I crazy? I'm telling him. I'm not letting his poor girlfriend get bad head. Yeah, Jake Jr. I feel like I'm telling. Have monies from my sexual deviant according to this damp soccer meme. Is this guy the whole argument just feels over fact? Yeah, pretty much. He's a minor? Who gives a shit if he's a minor? He's having consensual sex with another person? What the fuck does that mean? Who gives a shit? Who fucking gives a shit? The minor is, for the record, your minor children are still going to have sex with other minors. That's how it works. They fuck. Did you know that kids fuck? Kids fuck each other. We were kids. Remember when we were kids and we had sex with other kids? We were 15, 14, 13, 16, 17. We were fucking. People were having sex. These people need to know how to do it. Sexual education is super important. And if you didn't, okay, but your boy's a Chad over here, okay? Some people were fucking, all right? But you wanted to have sex. But I'm just saying, if you have a kid and they want to know about stuff, it behooves you to fucking talk to them. At worst, you fucking direct them to something reputable. Be like, okay, well, let me figure some sources out. I'll hand you the sources. You do with them what you please. If you have any questions, I'll be here. I'm not going to go over the finer points of BJ's with you. You are my son. You know what I mean? No, Jake, I'm a 23-year-old virgin. Well, just go fuck. Unless you don't want to. All right, aces, I don't need you to chime in here. You were excused at the beginning of this rant. I don't need you to be like, by the way, I don't want to fuck. No, come on. Yeah, we'll not let those sources be porn sometimes. There actually is educational porn that isn't too bad. But Jake, they don't want to fuck. You've been excused already. Let the fuckers talk about us. The non-fuckers enjoy the show. Anyway, you should communicate proper sexual education to your kids. Obviously, you're not telling 4-year-olds how to finger blast their date, but you should probably be telling your 4-year-old about consent in their body. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely things here. If you have an ethical issue with teaching kids about sex, relative to their age, or bodily autonomy or consent or whatever, it's a hang up that you have, and you should really self-assess, because it's weird that it's weird that you think that's weird. It's also really fucking damaging. Super damaging. We need to take sex off a pedestal, and we need to just, it's so fucking puritanical. Should we explain to teens what tops and bottoms are? I feel like teens know this kind of shit. By the way, teens don't need a lot of they have phones. What they need to know is what's reality, what consent is, really what they need to know. And then what they really, really, really need to know beyond consent is safety. Right? Most teens know what the fuck they're doing. They're just bad at it because they've done it very few times. Comprehensive sex ed is huge. My dad taught me how to fight, but not to schlurp. See, that's fucking dog shit. My dad was bad about it too. Just fucking terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Consent should be one of the first things your kid learns as far as broad concepts, because consent applies not just to sex. It's everything. Sharing, food, being nice to one another. Consent is the center aspect of human interaction. So Like, if you don't consent to a conversation, it's weird, right? So, like, yeah. It's just, yeah. Yeah. Consent for hugs. Yeah, consent for hugs. Kids, if you come from a huggy family, especially. Yeah, anyway. Sex ed is trash where I come from. Well, you've not earned the corn. I keep pressing the button and giving you free corn. You've not earned it today.
Was a backwards thing against which the skeptics fought tooth and nail to purge from public society. But teaching little girls about sex work, homosexual My Two Dads, drag queen story hour with grown-ass deviants flashing little kids with erect penises under their skirts.
I think I kind of want it.
Erect penises under their skirts. Jesus Christ. B Wings, thanks so much for the 2 months. Appreciate it. So I guess he thinks drag shows, all drag queens have boners all the time. What a weird fucking take. Drag queens have boners when they read books. That's how drag queens work. It's just fucking strange, man. What's that have to do with Marxism? It doesn't have anything to do with Marxism. He's just an incel. We figured it out. They tuck? No. Every drag queen has boners. This guy just said it, and so it's true. Also, you can't teach kids about gay dads. Why not? Kevin has 2 dads. Well, we're not going to discuss that at all. I'm going to let that boil around in your noggin for 5 years before I ever introduced you to the concept of homosexuality, because I'm an insecure piece of shit. Yeah, that seems like the right way to go about educating your child. Instead, your child eventually takes the iPad and types in 2 gay dads into Google, and and we just hope for the best. Like, come on. Teach your kids about human beings. Sexuality is part of it. If you got 2 dads, just explain why. The dads love each other. They love Kevin just like me and Mommy love you, and that's it. That's the whole thing. Wait till Homeboy finds out about drag kings. Ooh, we had a really cool drag king at Pride. Not this year because it was canceled, but the year before. And he had a red glitter beard. It was great.
The intentional shattering and shaming of the idea of a mother-father family raising morally principled children.
Okay, mother. There's no guarantee that a mother-father nuclear family raises moral children.
The skeptics seemed perfectly okay to let that go.
Am I in here? I'm not usually in these. Nope. Andy Worski? Andy, doing cocaine is not skepticism, okay? Doing lots and lots of cocaine is by no means skepticism.
It wasn't religion, after all. We can't have grown-ass people in society who work hard, mind their business, pay their taxes, and live in peace, but don't believe in evolution.
That's literally, hey, by the way, that's what leftists want. Leftists want to work hard on whatever it is they're working hard on. They want to enjoy their life. They want to have all they need to survive, and they want to be able to pursue stuff they want to do and have the government fucking leave them alone. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much what leftists want, my dude. I mean, it sounds to me like you're a leftist. You're just really cringy when it comes to like people that aren't binary within your gender spectrum, because you're just too fucking weak-minded to understand something, or you're too scared to come around on it because you already took a stance. And it wouldn't be spooky if I admitted I was wrong. Fuck off.
Traditionalism is theocracy and must be ousted once and forever. Oh hell no, the skeptics would say. Acting like SJWs when Trump won, when they hear that a little blonde girl in the South isn't sucking an entire locker room full of dicks in the 9th grade because she loves Jesus and her self-dignity.
Wait. Teaching kids about sexuality doesn't mean... It's the opposite of what you said. Look, Do I think that if someone wants to suck a million dicks, is that bad? No. What I think it is probably unsafe. It's not unethical. It's not like it doesn't make you a bad person. It's probably not super safe to suck a million dicks. Okay? Be selective about your dick sucking, okay? All right? You could be slutty and not get fucking mouth gonorrhea. You know what I'm saying? You lose your dignity if you suck dicks? Man, I've only had one girlfriend ever that didn't like doing that. And that didn't last long. She also didn't like getting the box eaten, so I don't think she was a human being. But how long would it take to suck 1 million dicks? Are you just like in and out, or is it like to finish? Because that's very different. To finish? Well, I mean that's just a million times. Like 10 minutes per dick. 10 minutes per dick? I feel like that's too much since everyone who's involved in that knows we're going for speed. The reason it takes long is because I'm trying to not let it go, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? 10 is a lot. That's a long time for someone sucking a dick. It's weird. Some people can't from bajays. That's weird to me. Maybe it's a mental thing. Aw, what happened? I wanted to see. Huh? This doesn't sound like 50s chud propaganda at all. Why did that get... Ask your mom? Wait, what's that? Now I'm trying to find out where Dum Dum did a Dum Dum. Oh, wow, solid. They were trying. I saw that. Would you even have time to breathe? I feel like you breathe through your nose a lot. You get a stomach ache? Well, Tiger Fox King obviously swallows. Holy shit! All right, we learned a lot about you. Oh, I'm fucking surprised this clip showed up. Wow.
What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever any...
Why aren't they debating against the ideas of systemic racism and white privilege like they were Intelligent Design?
Because those are correct. Systemic racism exists, you absolute fool. To deny systemic racism is like just incredible. Just incredible. Why would you get a stomach ache from the ding dong without swallowing? Explain that. Suction? The taste is very bad. Are you sucking dick through sit-ups? This is what I'm talking about. All right, you guys suck at sucking dick if you're having stomach aches. Tossing that out there. Just saying. I could eat a peach for hours.
Where are the streams and scores of videos poning the idea that gender is a social construct?
Because gender is a social construct. It's just true. It's because you're wrong. You're wrong.
What this shows is how useless the skeptics were, or experts only at punching down.
Punching down? It's not punching down. That's not what punching down is. Punching down is not telling religious people they're wrong. Again, it's not what that is.
An entire society went to war against harmless religious people who
they're not harmless.
Merely believed that teaching Darwinism was a gateway drug to Marxist ideology.
Oh my God. Did you see Marxist ideology is also smoking the weed? Did you know smoking weed's bad? Chat. Would you look at this. Look at this. On one side you have Marxists smoking weed, and apparently the other avenue, which is good, are prescription pills? Okay. All right.
I'm an evolutionary biologist, for fuck's sake. I don't have to look at talk origins like Matt Dillahunty's creepy ass to tell you...
Matt Dillahunty's creepy ass. Matt Dillahunty is one of the nicest people I know. He's a super cool guy. Matt Dillahunty's fantastic. I'm just tossing that out there. He's absolutely wonderful. Matt's not creepy at all, dude. I've been in the room with Matt multiple times in Roxas Drag. Yeah, he's wholesome. He's an ally to the LGBT community. He fucking is super pro sex worker. Like, I don't know. Sasha, thanks so much for giving one to Psycho. Appreciate it. Matt's a super nice guy, and if you ever hang out with him, if you ever have the opportunity to be in the room with him, if you're having drink and stuff, the odds that he pulls out some sort of magic trick is super high, and I love that about him. I need to go down to Texas next year. After all this shit's done, I'm gonna do a thing. I'm just gonna fly down and hang out with Matt. I have to. I'm done with it. I miss my friends. I'm gonna hang out with Matt. I need to go on the Atheist Experience. That's something that I've been invited on like multiple times, and I've just never fucking done it. I need to go on the Atheist Experience. That would be fun.
Every mechanism by which the forces of evolution operate to spur change through adaptation and the proliferation of organisms through offspring. And still I can see that the Christians were right here. The skeptics were dead fucking wrong. The Christians were right. That if you pushed them out, this shit would be pushed in. Society forced
What was that fucking edit, my guy?
religion to go hide in a corner, and now Marxism is in full swing across the entire...
Are people still saying Matt's transphobic? He's not. Who said that? Did anyone say that? Dillahunty is transphobic as fuck. Catalina Gearbox. You're fucking wrong! Anyway, that's there we go. You're wrong. You're wrong about that, and that's okay. You don't have to. I've been on the line. I've been on the line. Come on. I might do it. I might do a thing on while we're streaming on election night. I might also go over to Jimmy's for a thing as well. You should buy a limiter for your audio. You should buy a fucking shut up. Eat a bag of dicks.
entire damn country. The skeptics, as brilliant as they are, weren't even morally opposed to religion, to be clear. They were doing it for one main reason.
Listen, we're not just doing this for money. We're doing it for a shitload of money.
Oh, you're right. And when you're right, you're right.
Capitalism must go. White people are evil colonizers.
Advocating against capitalism is a grift to make money in capitalism that you actually like while advocating for the opposite of that, and then winning elections that work against your self-interest and to work against your grift, but you're in too deep and you have to just keep doing it. Okay, big fucking 700,000 IQ big brain moment. Okay.
And must go. The traditional family's patriarchy must go.
The traditional family's patriarchy must go. Okay. All right. Patriarchy, the idea that you're inherently better because you're a man is stupid. If you happen to be a good parent and you're the patriarch of your family, she's fucking cackling again. If you're doing stuff that is good, you could be considered the leader of the family, I guess. But the thing is, it has nothing to do with your gender, dude. That's the point. This guy 100% lives on the internet and has never spoken to a lefty IRL. This guy would get destroyed if he talked to me. This guy doesn't know fucking anything about what I think, does he? He is just stuck in 2016.
Sexual hedonism and flippant wanton orgies of pleasure are progressive.
Hey, does anyone want to have a flippant wanton orgy? Anybody? No? How about just one-on-one? Oh, okay, never mind. Bits for Sarah. Her laugh brings me joy. My DMs are open, chat. My DMs are open. Please don't send me your ding dong. Okay. I'll look at your butt though.
And they'll kill a bunch of people and burn down countless buildings while toppling every statue to push that message. And what the fuck are the galaxy brains doing now at the height of all of this mess?
Let's see.
Are they finally taking the same moral stand they took against religion? Fuck
No, because it's correct, you fool.
Fuck no. They're busy making videos that punch down at flat earthers.
No, they're not. That's what Thunderfoot's doing. That's not what I'm doing. What are you talking about? I was at the center of the fucking skeptic community. What are you talking about?
Or live streams failing to lie about Tucker Carlson and trying to get him defunded.
Tucker Carlson sucks.
From the live debaters and advocacy groups into especially the YouTube dipshit skeptics, they're solely responsible.
Who the fuck is this? I still don't know who the fuck this is. I have no clue who this is. How do I even look for this? I don't even understand. Gear Boy? Chainsaw Skeptic. That's not a real thing. Sawblade Eyes. See? Sawblade Boy. What, you didn't know Buzzsaw Atheist Man?
For allowing into the door the doom of our society. Because they're the ones who push
Buzzsaw Jeff. Fuck.
The stopgap out. Instead of standing against things that are actually harmful, things that actually kill people, things that actually cripple entire civilizations, they decided to LARP as smarter than the Christians they believed were ignorant, because someone growing up to have a wife and kids and a good job yet not believing in evolution is a crime greater than chemically castrating children by forcing HRTs down their throats against their
HRTs down their throats against their will. He thinks trans. There's a bunch of woke fucking middle class white families going like, I don't know I don't know Tina, and the little kid's like, my name's Jeremy, and like, no, your name's Tina. You're taking this HRT and you're gonna grow big titties someday, son, daughter. I don't even know where this is going because the concept of someone misgendering their child because they want them to be trans is so weird that the bit doesn't even make sense. It's just, that's so fucking stupid, bro. So stupid. No children are being chemically castrated. None of them. Why is it always about the dicks, by the way? Why is it always about the balls? You think if we chemically castrate kids, where are they going to keep the pee, you dummy?
Or teaching everyone's daughters that they should be playing musical chairs with random penises to liberate themselves from patriarchy. Fuck the skeptic community and any of these dipshits who think they're intelligent or moral or righteous. They're the biggest groups of charlatans.
Fuck these dipshits that agree with me. Agrees with you. Agrees with you. Agrees with you. Agrees with you. Probably agrees with you. I don't know what these two or Buzzsaw Jeff
ever exist on the planet, ushering in the evil permeating our society today by destroying literally the only safeguard we had against this rampant anti-white, anti-traditional debauchery.
Christianity's pro-white? What? This guy's a fucking idiot, bro.
And they did it all so they could feel morally and intellectually superior to people and make money. And now they hide out away from the burden of society they help sit alight. And that's being generous to them. That's assuming they themselves aren't Marxists who love it that they defeated religion so this hedonistic evil would proliferate out of control. All I know for sure is
the wrong kid died.
So as you can see, no one's fucking watched this. It's got 400 views. It's not going to get more than that. Atheism is for edgy 12-old supper lamb. Does this guy he makes videos? Lads, they finally prove systemic racism. So he's mirroring that. He mirrored that. Some groups will hate communism. Okay. Wow. Okay. Is systemic racism real? Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. This is sad, man. This is sad. Sad shit's happening right now.